Welcome back to the Everything Reselling Podcast. It's Series 6, Episode 3. Today's guest has one of the most unique combinations of careers we've ever featured. For the last 20 years, he's been on stage playing bass guitar with one of the most iconic British indie bands of all time, Echo and the Bunnymen. From touring the world to playing in front of thousands, he knows exactly what it's like to live the rock and roll life. But here's the twist. When he's not on stage, he's also a reseller. Yes, you heard that right. Between gigs and tours, he's out there flipping items, sourcing bargains, and running his very own side hustle. We're going to dig into his journey and find out how he balances music and reselling. Hey, I'm Car Boot Chris. I'm a full-time UK online reseller. I operate mainly on eBay and also Whatnot, but also some other platforms as well. I'm going to bring you regular podcasts all about reselling, hopefully to keep you company, to entertain, or maybe to educate, who knows. Welcome to the Everything Reselling Podcast. Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of the podcast. And today we've got a very, very special guest, and we're very lucky to have him on to chat today. But before we do that, I have to tell you about Listing Monster. It is changing the way I list. I use it every single day. It's an AI listing tool, and it saves time, and you can list a lot faster. I've got 3 simple questions. Do you hate listing? Do you want to list some more? Or do you want to free up some time? Maybe you need Listing Monster. Yep, AI listing is finally here, and this tool uses it to do the boring part for you. Writing titles, filling in item specifics, building descriptions, and even price research. Basically, the whole damn listing. All you've got to do is take the photos. What normally takes hours now takes minutes, so you can spend more time sourcing, selling, and my personal favourite, freeing up time to give back the work-life balance in your favour. I actually sacked my VA for Listing Monster, that's how good it is. How much is it? Well, it's 50p a listing, which I think is good value. I can now list 20 items from zero to live on eBay in about an hour, without breaking a sweat. For many of you, that could be your day's listing done. That 50p a listing gets earned back easily through increased sales. An important point though to note is you do need to have a business account on eBay. Through my referral link, yes, I do earn a little bit back from it, you'll get an exclusive 14-day free trial. That's not even on their own website. You'll also get direct WhatsApp support and your very own personalised AI. So if you're ready to make listing easier, faster and smarter, then hit that link in the description below. And remember, I don't recommend or promote any companies that I don't use myself. There you go, Listing Monster. Thank you to the team for supporting this podcast series. So I'm going to bring on our guest, and he's ready there in the green room. It's probably a place that he's quite used to being, actually. Being the rock star that he is, although he probably won't admit to being that. This is Stephen Brannan, aka Stevo. Hi, Stevo.
You all right, mate?
Oh, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and doing the podcast.
Thank you for having me on, mate.
It's my pleasure. I'm actually pretty nervous about this one.
Why?
Well, I'm interviewing a rock star, for crying out loud.
No, you know me, and I've told you I'm not a rock star. I'm just a musician. I'm a musician.
Okay.
And when I'm not doing that, I do reselling. You know.
Wow. Why don't you give us a bit of an intro into yourself before we get going?
Well, as you said, my name's Steve Brannan. I've recently, well, when I say recently, a couple of years ago, moved from Manchester to Wales, North Wales. I'm in Echo and the Bunnymen, play the bass guitar, and I've been doing that 20 years, and it's pretty consistent year after year with the touring. And when I'm not doing that, obviously I have had full-time jobs, but juggling a full-time job with a contract and being in a band doesn't work, as I know, because I've been there, you know. And this was I was doing reselling a little bit anyway, so it just seemed natural to fall into it. So yeah,
Cool.
that's about it. I've got lovely missus and a daughter who's at school. She's 11. And yeah, through the week, mainly through the week, I resell car boots at the weekends. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? Because you've been part of the reselling community, and certainly with our channel for quite a while now. And we bumped into each other at Chelford Car Boot ages ago, didn't we?
Yeah, was it
Yeah.
lockdownish? Was it after the first
Oh,
lockdown?
I think it were like either in between or before lockdowns, something like
Yeah.
that. It's a good, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. And now we bump into each other in North Wales. It's like
Yeah,
we both
strangest,
moved up.
isn't
We both ended up here in North Wales.
Yeah, both from Manchester. I was living in near Stalybridge, where obviously Bell's originally
Yeah,
from. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
And then I was like, oh, he's local. And then we both end up here, yeah, a few miles again. Can't keep
mad,
away
isn't
from
it?
each other, mate, can we?
Small
But
world, eh, isn't it?
I must admit, I've hardly seen you. Just the odd car boot, isn't it, really?
Oh yeah, I know. I reckon we'll
Yeah.
probably see
Visit
more of
life.
each other sort of next year when we're
Yeah.
properly both settled to be in here and stuff.
Yeah, probably. I mean, next year's a busy year for me with the band, so it's a bit weird. It's like this year's really quiet. Next year's going to be really busy. So
Okay.
it's proper topsy-turvy, with the work. It's up and down like crazy, You can't really predict. You can't predict it. It's just one of those, but you can sort of know when there's an album coming out, which there is next year. So that's
Right.
going to be when an album's coming out. It's just you promote it
Yeah, full on, full on.
all over the world.
So
Yeah, it is an
I'm gonna
interesting thing.
I'm gonna go back to talk a little bit about sort of how it all began, and then we'll move into reselling if that's all right.
Yeah,
So
fine.
the first thing I've got for you is so you've been with Echo and the Bunnymen for 20 years, since like 2005, I think I read. Is that right?
Yeah, 2005. Yeah.
How did you first get involved with that band?
So I was already doing session work because from the age of about 20, I was in bands myself in Manchester,
Okay.
trying to get a record deal myself, because everyone, like every other musician probably was at the time, Britpop was big. Mid-90s,
Yeah.
and I was in bands, really, really going for it. We were always in the back of someone's transit going down to London to try and impress some record company. But it never really worked out for me. And then two of my friends got signed, doing a sort of dance kind of project, really. And then they got signed. I was working full time. I was doing nights at the time, and they asked me if I wanted to do a tour, which was quite a big tour. And the boss at the company wouldn't have it. It was, we can't give you 6 months off to go gallivanting. He was one of those. To come back. Well, I can sort of understand it. It is a bit crazy asking for
Yeah, I
that
suppose.
amount of time off, isn't it?
Yeah.
But didn't go down too well. So ended up making that choice, and it was around the time I was getting separated with my first wife.
Okay.
So it all seemed to tie into place. And I was like, right, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to be a musician, because I worked all my life. So I started playing when I was 14. So it was just something that I was going to do, and nothing was going to stop me, sort of thing. Especially
Yeah.
at this point, because I'd worked. Like I said, I've been doing nights, and you know, it just got to the point where I got this offer, and it was now or never. So I
Mm.
was probably in my early 30s then. Did the tour with this band, and we did a couple of tours, but it obviously wasn't enough to keep things going. So then I started to try and do other work, and I was doing paid work. I was actually going around Manchester with handwritten notes and sticking them in places like Affleck's Palace, saying bass player wants paid work. In them days,
Right.
everyone's on the Nokias. There was no real there was definitely no smartphones. It was just a
Yeah,
case of
exactly. Yeah.
getting your foot in the door. Yeah, and I was in bands, just playing in bands, and then I met a guy. There was a band called Snowblind from Wakefield. They were on the first album, but there was only two of them. It was a singer and the guy who wrote the stuff. And he had a band behind him, but they needed a new bass player, so I went for an audition. and that was in Stockport. You know the pyramid in
Yeah.
Stock. Just at the side of there is a place called the Greenhouse Rehearsal Rooms, and it's quite famous. Over the years, a lot of bands rehearsed there. You know, the Manchester bands and things like that. Doves were in there, and Ian Brannan, people like that. So yeah, I went to audition there, and the guy who was playing keyboards for that band ended up playing keyboards for Ian McCulloch.
Yeah.
But because I'd got to know him, I said, any bass work comes up, you know, obviously let me know.
Right.
And he joined Ian McCulloch's band, and then he joined Echo the Bunnymen on keyboards, and the bass player left, and it was a guy called Pete Wilco, and he played for Cast, a Liverpool band, Cast.
Yeah.
So yeah, he'd left, and Paul gave me the shout out, and I had to go for like 2 or 3 auditions. It was weird. First one was just in front of the managers with a CD, playing onto a CD. That was a bit odd. You know, and play this song to this while they just stood there watching me. It was a bit. That was probably the most tense bit, to be honest. Trying to convince them I was good enough, you know. And then I played with the band, which all went really well. And then Ian came in, and they'd just done an album. There was a big tour, pretty much straight ahead. So they didn't. I think they auditioned 1 or 2 people. That was it, and I got the call. So
Nice.
I was lucky. I was lucky I joined at the right time when they were really busy, because I don't think they had much time to hang around. You know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was put on like a trial period. I suppose, but yeah, just obviously fitted in and
Brilliant.
been doing it. Yeah, we did. The first one we did was a warm up show for me. Oh God, I can't remember where it was now, but it was just 600 people, and then we did festivals, straight into festivals. So
No, guess that's
luckily,
a good warm up then, isn't it?
yeah, I've been doing festivals with that band. You know, when I said my mate's got a record deal,
Yeah.
they were doing festivals anyway. So I was used to tour buses, and I was used to touring a bit, you know. And like with that first band, Alpine, they're called Alpine Stars. We went all over. We did a big tour of Spain and Germany. We run like the equivalent to German Top of the Pops over there.
Oh, cool.
And you know, I'd got my foot in the door. I
Yeah.
knew what I was doing. Like, so when I joined the Bunnymen, I was sort of like a bit trained for it, I suppose.
Yeah. He was
Yeah,
ready for it. He was ready for your big opportunity.
that was it, and it was like, right, brilliant, a really good band, which they are, a really good band, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll never regret any of it. It's been amazing ever since, really.
Sounds amazing. And I guess like coming off the 90s, like this was early 2000s, so like Echo were like big in the 90s, weren't they? So they
Yeah,
were already like a massive band.
they had like a comeback single called Nothing Lasts Forever.
Yeah. That's my favorite track.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, Nothing Lasts Forever is a lot of people's favourite. So that was like Brit Poppy time, that.
It was like late 90s. Was it like
1997.
97, 98 or something like that?
Yeah, it was 97. And Liam Gallagher did the backing vocals on that.
Did he? Did
Yeah,
not know
so
that.
there's like, yeah, in the background. He does the yeahs on. If you
I'll have a
listen
re-listen of that and I'll see if I can pick it up.
Yeah, you can tell it's him. It's a very distinctive voice on it. And I have to do those live, but I'll never be able to do it like Liam did it. But yeah, I do.
Do you give a bit of vocals as well?
Yeah, there's me and there's the guitarist Pete. We both do a bit of backing vocals. So yeah, we do that as well. But there's not loads, you know, but it's nice to do, you know. I like singing when I can. Try and sing as best. We have in-ear monitors now, which like, you know, to plug in, so you can really hear yourself. It's not like the old days when you're trying to hear yourself through a monitor at the front of the stage. That was hard work.
What's the point of those things? Those little in-ear monitors. What does it do for you?
Well, you can hear yourself then, because if you think about it, you're on the stage, you've got all those amps blasting out, and you know it can get a bit overpowering. So normally they used to have like what they call a monitor at the front of the stage, and if you don't, it's like a slanted speaker that's aiming towards the singer. Well, they still use them now and again. Will still has one, the guitarist, but all the rest of the band are on in-ears, so it's like an in-ear monitor. So you
Okay.
can have your vocal in there, and you can hear yourself singing better, and you can have a general mix of whatever you want in that in-ear
Right.
mix. I tend to put one ear in and one ear out,
Yeah.
so you still feel. It's a bit weird when you put two in because you feel like you're in a studio then,
Yeah.
and you feel a bit disconnected from the gig. So
I get you.
we've had them about 8 years. It's a bit technical, but they help you
Mm.
to be able to hear a lot better, and
Yeah.
especially when you're singing, Yeah,
Interesting.
so bit of that, bit of singing, bit of this, bit of that,
Cool.
bit of bass playing.
When you think about all the gigs and tours and stuff that you've done over the years, is there any that stick out in your memory as like being, wow, that was amazing? Or
Yeah, there's quite a few, to be honest. The Bunnymen's fourth album is called Ocean Rain, and when we performed that on the album, there's a full orchestra, basically.
right,
So we take we've done it 2 or 3 times now, full orchestra on stage. Well, when I say full, probably 15 to 18 piece orchestra, but that
big enough,
is
isn't it?
just it's amazing, mate. So to play with an orchestra for a musician like me,
Yeah,
was the first time was mind blowing. Then you get used to it, and over the time we got better mixes. But it's something that we've done a few times. It's called Ocean Rain, and we'll probably do it again. Yeah, so I think them ones are the ones I remember because we've played some
yeah,
really good places doing them gigs, like Radio City Hall in New York,
nice.
which was amazing.
Yeah, I've been
And
there.
Royal Albert Hall in London, I've done that
Lovely.
2 or 3 times.
Oh, is it done it 2 or
Yeah.
3 times,
Yeah.
Easy, easy
So,
peasy.
I mean,
What's the
them are
biggest
the
crowd that you've
standouts.
played to?
Coachella, I think, festival. And that's just a sea of head. I don't even know how many people it was, but
Yeah,
it's something crazy, like
a lot.
250,000. It's
Wow.
just heads forever,
It's just
and
crazy.
they just go into a sea of nothing, but it's just heads. It's just all the way out. You can't see that is a big festival, that. So that's
Do you
probably the
still
biggest.
get, like, a bit of a buzz coming out to a big crowd like that?
It's a bit weird. You feel a bit disconnected when it's like that, because the stage is quite far away from the people, if you know what I mean.
Mm,
So it just feels like it. I don't know. I don't think I felt that nervous, to be honest, doing that.
yeah,
I feel more nervous doing TV.
right.
It's all, usually it's live and it's hard work. You just think, God, if I mess up now,
If you mess up, say the wrong thing,
say
yeah.
it's Jules Holland. I mean, we never speak as musicians. We don't have to speak, so we never do interviews. That's another good thing as well, because I'm not particularly. I don't think I'd want to be famous. I wouldn't want that sort of spotlight. I think if I was, I'd have to get into it. But I'm quite happy just being the musician. In the Bunnymen, we're a line of lads, and there's a lot of smoke and there's a lot of lights, and the main 2 guys are right at the front. And to be honest, people have paid the ticket price to see them. And as
Mm,
long as our attitude as a band, the backing band, is always just play to the best of your ability
yeah, yeah.
and play for them too, because you want them to be happy, and the better we play, the more feel good the gig is anyway, and they like it.
You
It's like,
said to me before you came on, you said to me you don't see yourself as a rock star, so,
yeah,
like,
not
why is
really.
that? Because 'Cause you're part of a big rock band, so why don't you feel that?
Um, because I'm quite a down to earth person, you know, quite down to
Yeah.
earth, and I'd say, to be honest with you, I'm quite shy as a
Mm,
person. But we meet fans. I'll sign things for fans, but I just don't know. I haven't got that sort of cocky attitude on me, where people are
yeah,
like, yeah, look at me. I come off stage, I'm just a normal guy. I say to the fans, I'm just a normal person. I'm
yeah.
not. They're looking at you like you're something you're not sometimes.
I'm just a
Yeah,
normal person, I'll be selling tat on eBay tomorrow.
yeah.
I don't
Tell you what was weird of being in the band and working was when I used to have proper contracted jobs. That was because now it's like I resell, I work for myself. So if I come off
Right.
tour, I can just go, yeah, I'll have a couple of days chill before I even start thinking about going back in the garage. I'm my own boss, so I can do that. And especially if we've been away for a while and I've earned quite a lot of money, there's no pressure on
Yeah.
on that side of things.
Yeah, true. So do you get involved, like, I know, like, you're part of the band and that, but do you get involved with other music related gigs or other bands? Do you play in do you perform or play for other things?
No, I don't now. I used to do quite a lot of other stuff, but it's hard to juggle everything.
Mm.
This year would have been okay. Could have done plenty. And a couple of the other lads in the band, one of them, the guitarist who plays the guitar for the Bunnymen, the rhythm guitar, he's in a band called The View. The View
Oh, yeah.
are quite a big band from Scotland,
Mm.
indie band. Do you remember The
Yeah.
View?
Yeah.
They did that song, Same Jeans,
Yeah.
the Same Jeans band, yeah.
I used
Well,
that on one of my reels the other day when I was buying jeans at the car boot.
yeah, they've had quite a
Same
lot of
jeans.
hits, and they were really, I like them, I rate them, but they've been quiet. So he's been slotting in, and he's been doing it a few years now, Pete. So he does The View, and the lad who plays keyboards is like a sax player as well.
Oh, okay.
So he's played with the Damned. We all ended up. He played with the Damned while we were in America on tour, the Bunnymen, and we all ended up backstage at the Damned. That was fun, meeting Captain Sensible. And yeah, and he played with Kid Creole and the Coconuts,
Oh,
Mike.
wow.
So he's done stuff like that, but personally, I've not. I do the Bunnymen, and then I come back and I just have my family life. I probably do 5 hours a day reselling. I don't really push it.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to. When we moved here, it was a bit like dropping down a gear for me, and it was all planned, and made
Yeah.
sure everything was secure enough to do that.
Yeah.
And it's all worked out great. I mean, I've been doing reselling and the Bunnymen for about 8 years. Before that, I had contracted jobs, and I
Yeah.
was doing
That's got to be
I
difficult, that, hasn't it?
I was doing agency work.
Right.
That was hard work.
Doing what kind of thing?
Well, anything I could, because
Right.
I left school with absolutely no qualifications. I went straight from school into a building YTS scheme.
Yeah.
Do you remember YTS? I bet
Yeah.
you're
No,
too young.
my brother had a YTS, but it stopped by the time I was coming out of school.
Mm. So I was on YTS schemes, and then from that, I was working in factories because I was a dad at 20.
Right.
So Jamie's now 35. I'm 55. Jamie's 35 now,
Right.
and I'm a granddad now as well. He's got a little girl. So yeah, that seems weird. The fact that all those years,
Yeah.
but I was a dad at 20. I've never really not been a dad, so
Yeah.
it was really hard juggling all that, and to ever
Difficult.
think that I'd be a musician was
Long
probably,
time, long periods away from home, I guess, as well.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, but it's good. It's good with the Bunnymen because we only do so much, and then I've got so much time at home.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And I can do the school runs. I can be
Yeah.
there at every single play that Lula's done at school because Lula's 11. She's nearly 12. So all her school life, I've been there, been able to
Mm.
pick her up,
That's
give her
good.
a tea before, and her mum's always pretty much worked. She had a little time out when we moved here, but now she's working full time now.
Right.
She's a bit of reselling too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about reselling then. So, how did you even come about getting into it?
Um, the very start.
Yeah. You
Well, I
said 8
collected.
years ago.
Well, it's been longer than that. I
Has it?
collected. Yeah. How long have I been on eBay? God. I started selling. Where are we now? It's probably been about 15 years. I've actually
Okay.
been, because I'll show you this. I restore old toys. So this is a $6 million man.
All right.
Cool. Some people will remember this. It's from the mid-70s. He's a $6 million man. So I've been restoring these for as long as I can remember.
So when you say restoring it, so you pick them, you find them out in the wild, and if they're a bit broken or damaged, you fix them up.
Yeah, and I also find on eBay, job lots of stuff, and I've always done that.
Yeah.
They're really good to do. I just love it because these outfits as well. I have these made in China now.
Wow. Okay.
So because what I noticed when I was collecting these, all the outfits were everything else was cool and reusable and that, but the outfits were always perishing.
Yeah.
So he's got, I think, 50 years old, and a lot of them have been in lofts. So
how?
yeah, that was the first
Let me just get
project
my head around that. So you have those outfits made in China,
Yeah.
and you kind of refurbish them, give them new outfits, and fix them up and stuff. How did you even find someone to do that?
Oh gosh. Oh, I've known. I call her Helen, but I don't think that's a real name. I think she's called Quinn. But she's a lovely woman, and I've known her since I started doing these outfits, which is probably about. God, you stumped me because it's probably it's over 10 years. It's probably 12 years.
Right.
So I was working in a contracted job, and then I was restoring these on the side, but I was collecting. So that was how I started doing it. I just started restoring a doll, putting it on eBay, and they were selling like hotcakes. So at Christmas, I'd do like I'd get 7 or 8 ready.
Nice.
And I had actually at the time, I had someone making boxes for me. You can still get boxes and someone's selling them on eBay, but these were really good boxes I used to have made, and they were cheap as well. He'd do them as a batch for me. He'd do like 7 or 8 at the same time. So I put them in the box, and then they'd be like perfect Christmas gifts. And they were hot cakes. They really were. It was easy, And I still do them on a very sort of smaller scale now. But
Do you
this
do
year I've been
different characters? Do you do different figures?
Well, there's the two main ones I've been doing is $6 Million Man. I'd love to do more, but it's finding the range that I know I'm going to sell a lot of, because when you order from China, you've got to order quite a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, true.
You can't get away with just ordering. Oh, I'll have 20 of them and give them a go. You can't do that.
Ordered hundreds, haven't you?
500 minimum and all that. Yeah,
right.
With these it was 500 minimum.
Oh, right. Okay.
Like I said, I've known her for years. Trust her. Because the first batch, it was a bit hit and miss. It went wrong. When they sent it, the tops were too small, and I really panicked. I was like, oh no, the top. She just said, send them back. Sent them back. She redid the whole lot again. Wow. I thought, wow, she's really, really trustworthy lady. Like, it's through a factory. The factory were making stuff for Disney, she said at one point. So it's one of these big, massive factories in China, I think. And then she just subcontracts it. I don't know what she does, but
do you ever think about like expanding that side of your little sort of business?
Yes,
like you said,
I really
doing more of that.
Yeah, and I thought about 3D printing.
Yeah.
Because with vintage toys, there's always one bit that's always missing. Always missing. And I could probably think of 10 toy lines where there's that bit missing. Yeah, so I thought about that. I mean, I'm giving that away now. Anyone could do it. I'm sure there is actually people doing stuff like that already on.
Yeah, but not anyone can do it though, Stevo. It's like you got to have a bit of a passion for it. You got to have some kind of interest. I don't think I'm not going to run away and do it. You don't need to worry, because I've not got the passion for it that you've got. But
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of people who like with Star Wars. Everyone's very oh no, it's got to be vintage. I collect Star Wars, and the Star Wars community, they're not into reproduction things.
Yeah,
you got to be careful. You get a lot of hate for doing things like that.
Yeah, and but if you make it clear when you are selling it that you've replaced this and you've replaced that, and this is a then what's the issue? If somebody's happy to have that.
I think it's just the purists. There isn't. you know, and they're like, no, say no to. They even have T-shirts, say no to repro, but
Really?
that's a reproduction outfit. But people who are collecting $6 million man don't have that same mentality.
Mm.
It's like,
That's
oh, it's
strange, isn't it?
fantastic. You know, I don't think I've ever had any bad feedback with these suits, and I've been selling them for absolutely years. So he has like a baddie. He's called. I wish I had one here now, but he's a mask. He's called Mascatron, and he has a cream top, black pants, and black socks. So I also do that one. She makes them for me too.
Cool. So do you
And
sell
they're not like a huge seller. They trickle out.
Yeah.
At
Christmas is
Christmas.
coming though, isn't it?
Yeah, and over like it seems to me October to sort of January they do really well. Not so much in the summer. They do go, you know, but it's a nice little trickler. You know,
Yeah.
it just tops up that weekly wage.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know, and
definitely.
you have that sort of set figure, don't you, where you think I'd like to just achieve if I can achieve that much this week. I have that every week. I just have like this figure in my head, and if I get
Yeah.
to that, everything's
Fair
cool.
enough.
Anything past
Yeah.
that's a bonus. Yeah,
Exactly.
because I've never been in reselling to be a millionaire at all.
I don't think
You know,
many of
it's
us are in it to be a millionaire, to be
just
honest. It's more the lifestyle, isn't it?
yeah, and it's for me like because I said over lockdown, musicians ain't working. You know, there was no work for us. It was just like right, that's it. You know, so it was brilliant. I was really getting into it in lockdown. You see, I'd already started it before that.
Yeah.
And like when I saw you in Shelford, I was like, yeah, I'm earning loads. I'm doing really well. Remember?
Yeah, I remember having a chat.
I was probably bragging with you at the time, but I was thinking, wow, I'm earning a lot more doing this than I ever did in working in factories, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a bit of a smoke and mirrors thing because lockdown was lockdown. Lockdown was a special time for resellers.
It was
Yeah,
a strange
every,
period of time, wasn't
it,
it? Everything
for
went a
me,
bit crazy.
it just seemed very easy to sell
Yeah.
because everyone was online, weren't they? So
Yeah.
I'd started selling everything by that point as well.
So
So
are you would you class yourself as an everything seller?
I still am, yeah, because I find issues finding stock, especially with toys, vintage toys.
Mm.
You look at the vintage toy dealers now that are on YouTube. There's a lot of them, and they're going abroad. They're going, you know, to find their stock. They have to really work hard, you know.
Yeah.
And they go to America for God's sake, you know, just to buy toys to bring back all over Europe. Where there's lots of vintage toys that you can get at a cheaper price to be able to come back here and flip them. You
Hang on a
know,
minute, Stevo, right? You travel all over the world.
yeah, I do.
So do
I
you not
do.
do you buy stuff when you're out and about?
I do. But to be honest, it's probably the last 3 or 4 years I've been more doing that than not because a lot of the time it's play the gig. When I was younger, I'd be getting spannered. You know, it'd be come off stage, get spannered.
Right.
Probably a bottle of Jack Daniels would be consumed, and I wouldn't get up until soundcheck the next day because you're rolling on a bus. It's a bit like a time machine on the bus. So
Right.
you play a gig, you get on it.
Just
Now
in and out.
it depends what sort of state you're in. If you're sober, it's fantastic. You can get up the day after in the morning. So you've woke up somewhere new. Say, oh, we're in San Francisco now. You've travelled there overnight from wherever, you know. So that's what it's like. And then you've got the full day. I am clean and sober now, so I tend to get up in the morning and we go record shopping and we find vintage toy shops and I buy stuff. Been buying a lot for me, but I have been doing a bit of reselling stuff too. But
That's
it's hard to
brilliant.
fit in. It's weird sometimes. You can because you are sort of busy through the day in the band. It's not just the gig at night. You know,
Yeah.
you've got the sound check and it's usually mid-afternoon. And you've got to be on the ball for it, you know. And
Yeah.
it's only an hour out your life, hour and a half maybe. But you can't be off tourist sightseeing a mile away, 2 miles away, and the
Yeah.
tour manager's
You got to
going,
keep it fairly
"Where
close.
are you? We've got, you know, everything's precise. You know, you've got to be there at 3.
Right.
and there's no noise between, and it's so yeah. It's right in the middle of the day sound check. So sometimes can cut into your
Oh, so
thrifting
it's
time.
shocking behaviour,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. But I have managed to get into some of the Goodwills over there and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, lovely.
And I bought the odd bit, and I've never took an extra case though, because it's difficult. It really is difficult to do both. If I had more time, I think next time we go to America, there's going to be a few more days off, so you never know. But yeah, I have bought stuff to flip, and I've also
That's
bought
good.
stuff thinking, oh, I'll be able to flip that. And when I've got home, I've ended up selling it for the same price I bought it.
Oh well,
You
you
know what I
can't win
mean?
them all.
With vintage toys, it's crazy. It's very hard. Some of it's hard to predict, but I think out of everything, vintage toys is my strong point.
That's the bit that you like the most.
Yeah, and then I love cassettes and records,
Obviously.
bit of clothing, prefer men's. I'm not really into, no, I don't think I've ever sold. Yeah, I
I
think I have
do.
sold a couple of dresses. I did sell a couple of my mum's dresses that she was, oh, I don't want these anymore. And there was something like Joe Malone or something like that.
Yeah.
So I sold some stuff. Never gave her the money for them. I just kept the money.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But she was just,
Prerogative in it when parents
yeah.
and family give you stuff.
I like selling cool stuff and retro stuff, but it isn't always hard to get hold of it, But I should do more car boots. But my problem is I don't drive. That's
Right.
my weakness.
Do you think you
And
ever will?
yeah, I need to. I'll
Hmm.
need to. I mean, I should have really gone for it this year. But Simone's mum, who you've met, and
Yeah.
Simone both do a bit of reselling on the side. Simone does
Yeah.
vintage. She does ceramics. She's got a very keen eye. This is my partner, Simone. We're not married, but we've been together since 2006. So
Okay.
a good amount of time. And
Yeah.
yeah, she does ceramics. And Simone's mum started just doing clothing. Yeah, as when she moved to Wales, she started doing it as a sideline because
That's
she used
cool.
to clean. I think she used to clean, do a bit on the side like that. But they're just doing it for pin
Just
money,
for a
really.
bit. Just for a bit.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Something I was going to ask you, Stevo, was like being in a band and that. Do you have bits and bobs to resell, like music related instruments or signed stuff? Do you ever get stuff like
no, not really. I feel a bit weird saying to Will and Ian, can you sign this so I can put it on eBay?
that? Yeah, but don't you get other stuff like, you're not like mingle
Yeah, I
and
have
get
had.
freebies and stuff?
Yeah, I've had bits and bats. Yeah, and I've had stuff signed, but it's
Yeah.
not something I don't think. I remember once we did there's a festival in Japan called Summer Sonic Festival.
All right.
And it's a lovely big festival, and it always has loads of great bands on. And we were over there, and my son at the time, he was 14, 15, well, he would have been 15, 16. He was really into Slipknot, and I managed to get every single Slipknot signature on a
Wow.
t-shirt for him. Yeah. So things like
Oh,
that are
gorgeous.
amazing. But yeah, I'm not really. Have I sold anything with a signature on? I'm just trying to think. No, someone gave me some plectrums. It was,
Yeah.
because I collected bass plectrums from other bands for a while.
Okay.
I ended up selling a couple of them. Matt Willis from Busted, £35 just for a little plectrum. So it had his face on it and signature. So yeah, but I tend not to with Bunnymen stuff. I wouldn't feel
No,
right doing that. I
that's
don't
kind of
know
a
why.
bit weird, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
don't know how they'd feel about it either. It's a bit
No.
odd. I probably could make a lot of money there. Just get a load of guitars and get them to sign them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I
But,
think you're missing the trick there.
I just
Perhaps you
think I
could.
feel.
Maybe you could line yourself up as the reseller for the rock stars, and everyone could come to you to. You could do a commission basis thing where someone wants to sell one of their old guitars, get a signature on it. We'll go halves and half. I'll sell it for you.
Well, yeah, I could work on that one. I suppose it'd
Or
be a
you could
little
do
bit.
that with your own bandmates. That would be acceptable if you did a split on it.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, you're breaking up just a little bit.
Oh, am I? Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah, Yeah, I can't see you though. I'm absolutely blind without my glasses on. But they're a bit.
You don't need
They're a
to
bit.
see me. As long as you can hear me, it's fine. There's nothing much
Yeah,
to
as long as I'm
say.
in the middle of the thing and everything's
You're
fine.
fine.
Yeah.
What I was going to say was, how do you manage juggling reselling with touring, rehearsals, and all that kind of stuff? It feels like that must be tricky because also you've got to think about when you're selling online. Like if
Yeah.
you're away for a week or two, then you've got to shut your shop down. Or how does that all work?
Well, I just look. I do have to plan it.
Yeah,
So, like on a year where it's a bit topsy turvy and it's like, oh, we've got a festival this week and then we've not got nothing the weekend after and we've got a festival. I just put it on holiday mode, but let people still buy
yeah,
because I know I'm going to be back in time. You know what I mean? And I'll just put, I'll say I've been on holiday. Usually when someone buys something and I'm away with the band, I just text them to let them know I'm away. I don't say I'm away with the band. I just say
yeah.
I'm away.
Just
Hey,
away.
I'm
Yeah,
away
that's
with the
what I do.
band. No, I just put
That's what I
I'm
do.
away. I'm away, and just to let you know, I won't be back until this date to ship it. If you don't want it, I'll cancel it. And I just do that with every. And that's
Exactly what
it.
I do.
Yeah, I
Exactly
think
the
it's the
same.
best way because you're gonna. I don't like losing out on sales if someone's prepared to wait a few days. You know,
Yeah.
I'd rather, and then I'd rather because when I get home, a bit of packing's nothing to me. It's never. I think there was one where I went away for a fortnight and there was about 30 to do, but you know, I just
At
did a
the
bit
end
of a
of the
night.
day, you've made some good sales then, haven't you? So, you got to take it.
Yeah. And if I'm away for a long time, that's a bit weird. That used to always be a bit weird because you were only allowed to go onto holiday mode for a month,
Mm,
weren't
yeah.
you? You were never allowed to. I don't know what it's like now, but it's like this next year. I'm gonna have to just keep making sure. I used to set alarms in my phone. Remember to renew the holiday mode
Yeah, that's it. And you've got to
because I'd be
renew it.
away. You know.
Yeah.
Yes. I think there was a time where I was away for 6 weeks, back for about 4 or 5 days, then away for another 2 weeks.
Oh, that's
Then
tricky.
back and then away again. So it's just like a case total shutdown.
You just have to shut it down, I guess, don't you?
Yeah, that for me is total shutdown. I can't be bothered with the stress of it because
No.
when I'm away with the band, I just want to enjoy that,
Yeah.
and that is an amazing thing as well to be able to just completely. Sometimes even delete the app.
Mm,
So I've just got a proper different life. It is completely different, obviously being in
yeah.
being in the band, and it's just yeah, because sometimes you can get whatever you do, you're going to get sick of it eventually.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have that complete break from eBay too. But then when I go back into it, I'm always chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
Like next year, I think everything ties up all the works, the first half of the year, it all ties up August, probably August, late August. There'll be a few festivals, but I will have done a chunk of work there
Right.
that'll pay for the whole year. So I can just pay all the mortgage for a year. Everything's paid for, more than enough cash there, and then I can just get stuck straight into the fourth quarter.
And that's a
But
good
it's
thing,
just
I guess,
weird.
isn't it? The
Yeah,
quiet time for eBay is your busy time in the band and vice versa.
it's usually the summer that's the busiest time in the band. Yeah, I mean we have
Yeah.
done. Don't get me wrong, we have done winter tours that have
Yeah.
really annoyed me because I'm like, I'm missing out on the fourth
That's my
quarter.
eBay time.
That's the best time on it. Yeah, it really annoys me that. Yeah, because
Wow.
and then you're back in on the summer, and then
Yeah.
it's like you weak sales. But to be honest, 8 years now doing just reselling and the band, and I've never been short of money.
That's good.
I've never had enough money to pay for the bills and
Yeah.
the things we need. You know
You
what I
feel
mean?
like you've got a good balance at the moment with it.
Yeah, really good balance. I would say that it's took me a few years to get there though, because
Yeah.
there's been times where I'll just blow. I used to just blow all my money
Really.
and then just rely on the reselling. But now I don't have to do that. Everything's lining up perfectly.
Brilliant.
I'm the happiest I've been in a long time, to be honest. And being here in Wales, I'm a lot more stress free. Manchester, it was just so busy. I
Oh,
was just
tell me about it.
busy,
Whenever
busy,
we
busy
travel
all the
back to
time.
Manchester and we have to drive round and visit family and that, I mean, obviously I don't mind visiting family, but just even driving round the place, it's like stressful, isn't it?
So many. All I keep saying to myself when I go back is, there's just so many people. There's so many people everywhere. Just like, there's never a quiet place or a quiet time.
I know.
You know,
That is
I'm
true.
in,
It's
as you
so
know, I'm
true.
in Colin Bay. I go out with the dog, and at 9 o'clock at night, there's not a soul around.
Yeah.
Not a
Quiet.
soul.
Lovely.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
it's dead lovely. It's dead quiet, and there's the beach 10 minutes away. So, yeah, loving life here.
Perfect. Let's talk
Absolutely.
about a couple of your good flips that you can remember. Can you remember like what one of your best
Breaking up a little
sales
bit.
were?
Yeah. Best sales. Oh, I've had quite a few decent ones over the years. I bought this action figure online on eBay for £41. It was an auction.
Okay.
And
Got
it
lucky
was
then.
it was a company called Mego, and it was still on the card. It was like, on its original card with the bubble.
Right.
And I sent a picture of it to a guy who knows a lot about Mego in Canada, just to show him, oh, look at this I picked up for £41. And he came back and said, actually, that's strange. The packaging's not the same as the others. And I was like, what are you saying? And he thought it was like a catalogue sample
Okay.
of something they'd knocked up, but it had more intricate artwork on it. So it was like, I've never seen one. Can I take some pictures of it and put it on the website? Because he's
Right.
got a Mego website.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's the Mego Museum. If you go on it, shows you all about the Mego dolls from the 70s. They did Action Man's, not Action Man, the Action Man style, but 8-inch. And they were
Right.
like Spider-Man, Hulk, them, the
Okay.
superheroes. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So they were very big in the mid-70s, probably a little bit before your time. But yeah, so anyway, this figure turns out to be really rare, and it was a bad year with the band. I remember I was having it was a struggle, getting the money together for my tax, and it was January, and you have that
Yeah.
deadline for your tax. And I thought, right, I'm going to see because I knew it was going to be worth something a lot more than, because he couldn't really give me a figure of what it was worth, so I put it on. I needed 700 or 800 quid to pay my tax to finish
Right.
off the tax bill, and I put it on for $1,000, and it sold straight away to this guy called Me Gozilla. He probably would have paid more. He's probably still out there. He's called Me Gozilla, and I think he
Oh
was like the
man.
big Mego collector in America. But he
Still though, you
sold
paid 40 odd quid and you got
yeah,
$1,000 for it. I
41
mean,
into $1,000. Yeah. Oh, and I
nice.
tell you what, another thing I found. When the Barbie film came out.
Yeah.
Well, there was a Barbie box set that I'd found in the tip shop, all complete. It was all there. In fact, I didn't even check they were all there. When you check a few and you think it's all there.
It's probably there, yeah.
But it was £3, so I bought it. And I got home and I think I sold it for £175
Lovely.
to
For a
someone in
Barbie set.
America again for a Barbie box set.
Yeah.
It was all the cartoons, and I couldn't believe that. Yeah, I think Simone ended up with a new coat with that money. She got a decent Christmas present that year, yeah. But yeah, I found loads of things like that. I can't remember, but I have had
Yeah.
over the years quite a lot of good flips, I must say.
Great.
I've
Great.
been surprised at what things are worth.
We always get surprised
Yeah.
now and again, don't we? Which is good. So
Yeah.
do you think reselling for you, do you class it as like a full-on side income, or is it something you want to grow in the future, or is it just a bit of a hobby for you?
Like with having the band, I take it very casual. It's
Okay.
very casual. But this year, I had enough money saved, luckily for me, knowing there was only going to be a few gigs. So
Yeah.
it's still quite casual. I find it hard to regime myself to doing a full day's graft. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but it's because I know I don't have to. And
Yeah. That's the
if
thing,
if
isn't
I
it?
do if I do 4 or 5 hours and I'm working, it doesn't really feel like work to me reselling.
Yeah.
I like packing. Don't mind photographing. To be honest, the listing I do, which is usually 10 a day, and that keeps. I'm
That'll keep
normally
you
at five.
ticking over, won't it?
Five. I'm normally at five. I've got the middle shop on
Yeah.
eBay, but I'm normally 500-600 items.
Yeah. Nice.
So I'm just steady at that. And with that, yeah, I mean, some weeks, you know what it's like. Some weeks are up, some weeks are down. But it all sort
Yeah.
of, I look at it on the month. I always
Yeah.
pot it all together and say, right, what have I done this month? Because you can't go crying over a bad week. Everyone has them.
No, you can't. You
No.
can't
I
because
mean,
it will drive you crazy if you do that.
yeah, we all have bad weeks on there. But you have got to,
Absolutely.
I think it might have been you who initially said that, and it made me think, yeah, just go off the month.
That's it. You have
Because
to.
the month is, I know we get paid weekly, but yeah, the
Yeah.
month is the one.
That's it.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I think in the future, I don't know how long the band's going to last, do I? I don't
That's
know
true.
if I'll be re-employed. It is an unsteady job. It's not a secure job, put it that way, but who dares wins? And I've been doing it so long now that why would I
You
want
just
to do
carry
it
on.
now?
Carry on for as long as it will
As
go
long as I
for.
can, I'll probably end up doing cabaret in Llandudno somewhere.
Yeah, I was just going to say somewhere
Yeah.
in Colwyn Bay or something. What about your
Playing, yeah.
bandmates, Stevo? Do they know what you do on the side? Do they know you do a bit of
Yeah,
reselling?
they all know. Then they all think it's funny, and they all
Do
love
they?
it. Yeah, they think I'm like some sort of half a daily. But a lot of the time when I'm out and about, they come out with me. So like we're in Belgium, and I'll clock it. It'll be like, oh, look at that. There's a flea market on around the corner, and half the band are with me, and
I
they're
think
all
you're more
buying.
ingrained into reselling than what you think, because
I
that is
am.
definitely a reseller's thing. I do that all the time when I'm away. Like, doesn't matter where we are, can be
Yeah,
driving through Paris. If I see a second-hand shop or a flea market, I'm there.
that's it. So we do. I mean, quite a lot of the band love it. Love not reselling, but they love looking in antique shops and
Oh, cool.
flea markets, and because records, they're all into
That's
the
nice to
record.
have that, isn't it, though, that your band are kind of supportive and up there with you with it, because
Yeah, we've had some fun. I always take someone with me. I never walk around like big cities on my own. I tend not to do that. I like a bit of muscle with me, you know, just in
So
case you get yourself into a scrape.
do you reckon I hope it doesn't, but if the music stopped tomorrow, do you think you would just go all in full-time reseller?
I've had to think about that recently. Well, I haven't had to think about it recently, but I have been thinking about it. And I think that'd be my first,
Yeah.
what I call, I'd
At
try
least
it.
try it. At least try it.
Yeah. But I think I know what I'd have to do. I'd have to get a blinking car license. It's no good having a bike license when you're a reseller. A lot of the
There's
time,
plenty of resellers who are on the buses and Ubers and
yeah,
stuff.
I'd be interested to hear how they do it. They just probably
Mm.
get gear bags and off they go. But I'm lucky to have Simone because she does all the car boots with me, all through the summer. She works Monday to Friday, so her weekends are free. So she does it for herself. She loves. She'll do the ceramics. She's looking for ceramics. She's looking for stuff for herself,
Yeah.
and her mum as well. So then they both just drive me around. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. And if I did go full time, the first thing I'd do is pass my test. I'd have
Yeah.
to pass my
Yeah,
test.
it'd
Get
be a
myself
good
on the
idea,
hop.
wouldn't it?
Well, I don't think I could survive otherwise.
No.
And then I might have to look at other platforms because I've always only just done the eBay.
Yeah.
Simone keeps saying do the Vinted, but I keep getting put off by people saying, you have to wait all this time, and there's always
Mm.
people low blowing you, and low blow offers, and a lot of that going on. But I suppose it's
The
just
way
part of it.
the way I see it right now with you, like you don't really need to do the cross listing thing, because
No,
you've got the two incomes. Like, do you need the stress of another platform? But
no.
like,
I mean, I've
if you were
started
full
making less
time
money.
reseller, you'd probably be a good idea to.
I definitely would have to look at my business in a
Yeah.
totally different way if and when the band split up. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to get more musician work, but the older you get, I'm
Mm.
55 now.
Yeah. Not
you
getting any
know,
younger.
no, and there is. I don't know. I don't know. Something might come up. There might be
The
an
thing
older
is,
band.
like,
Using a
I mean,
bass.
I don't know how the music industry works or how musician work goes, but surely, like, if you're a good musician, like,
Yeah, you can keep
what does
working.
it really matter what your age is?
No, if you've got a good track record,
Hmm.
look at Oasis. They're the same age as me, and the guys who play for them, they're still plugging away doing it, aren't they?
Hmm.
And they didn't realise anything was coming until, that must have been a bit of a shock for them all.
Hmm.
Wow, we're going back on the road,
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people who do the session thing, like, they call it session player. I just call myself a live musician. I
Right.
do live work but only the Bunnymen. So, yes, it's a weird one. It's a weird
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I'll just keep
So
going as long as I can.
what gives you the biggest buzz? Flipping a rare figure from £40 into 1,000, or really like going out into a massive live audience and playing with the band? What's the biggest buzz?
Mm. Oh, it's going to be the band on it.
Yeah.
The band has always been like, for me, I've been quite loyal, but 20 years has
Yeah.
always been the number one, So it's like, to be a musician, I'll have the stress of working around the band. And like I say, for years, I'd contracted jobs. I had a job for 8 years working for a company who the boss, the guy who owned the place, was like this absolute star. He was about in his early 70s when he took me on, and he let me have all the touring time off.
Right.
Can you believe that? Oh, you're in a
Brilliant.
band. Oh, I love the fact you're in a band. That's brilliant. Are you sure you want to work here? And then he was just dead nice to me, and he said, "Listen, when you've got gigs, it's okay. You can have the time off." And I
Brilliant.
did that. Let me do that for 8 years. I've been
Wow.
so lucky in that sense. But that was really odd coming off a big tour, going to clocking in. I was spraying. Like panel spraying, the
Okay. Yeah.
industrial spraying, but they made big labels. Um,
Right.
so it was stuff like for outside like when you go to a doctor's and they've got the engraved doctor's
Like
name,
signage
and
and stuff.
yeah, signs like that, and they're all like filled them with spray. So like
Okay.
I was spray painting, doing a lot of signs and stuff. Just let me work there, and then the management changed, and they eked me out. I mean, I wasn't. I'm glad they did now. When I think back, I just think, well, I sort of got a bit pushed out there, but at the end of the day, it was the best thing that happened, because then that little bit of reselling I was doing turned into what it is now. You
Yeah.
know, me doing it. Oh, I can do this. I do not need to rely on a contract, because
Yeah.
you tell me how many session players out there are doing contracted work. They're not. They
Mm.
can't be.
No.
So you've got to find something else.
Mm. Yeah. And
Everyone's
reselling is
doing
your
things
something
now.
else.
Yeah, and I would think like with a lot of musicians, actors, part time, these people who live off doing like the extra work and that, they
Yeah.
must do other things. I bet there's some actors who do reselling as well.
Probably. Yeah.
You've
Probably.
got
I
to
need to
find.
find more.
I knew someone who did something on the side, but they did t-shirts, so they had their
Okay.
own t-shirt press, and that was their
Yeah.
sideline.
Like an
But
Etsy sort of store or something.
yeah,
Printing t-shirts.
yeah. But I find reselling. I like it. I actually do like it.
Do
You
you
know.
on the music side, like obviously being a musician is really important for you. Like, do you like insure yourself, like your hands, or can you even do that? Like, what if you were to have an accident and not been able to play your guitar?
Well, luckily the Bunnymen insure the whole band,
Right.
especially for like that and sickness and things like that. I came down ill. Oops. I came down ill on a tour. Um, we were in Amsterdam, and we're near the canals, and a big mosquito bit me on the shin.
Right.
I didn't think anything of it at the time, but when I woke up the day after, the keyboard player said, "Oh my God, what's up with your leg?" And I looked down, and it was all like red and swollen, and it got cellulitis in my leg.
Right.
So
Bloody
the
hell.
mozzie, and honestly, I was a mess for the whole tour. But they got they had to get doctors out, and they got to get a doc when we got to New York, and they had to send another doctor out. and they're not cheap, those call-out doctors.
No,
And I
not
was
when
just
you're
so
abroad.
glad the Bunnymen take care of all that. So even though we're self-employed,
Yeah,
everything is great on tour. Everything is paid. Our rooms are paid for, our flights are paid for, all that side of it. We do have to pay some expenses, but a lot of it is just all covered.
yeah,
So we don't have to worry about that. And it's a bit like, I suppose, I don't know, army lads who go away, they do a load, and then there's a load in the bank for them when they get home. It's a bit like that.
yeah,
You don't really spend your wages while you're out there. You
yeah,
invoice when you get back.
yeah. I get
So
you.
yeah,
Do
it's
you think you would ever sell any of your own guitars and stuff like that?
I've got a few precious guitars, and I'll never sell them. They'll end up going to the kids. Yeah, I've got like probably 4, and then I've got loads of others that like you buy on a whim. So I've got probably about 10 guitars, but 4 of them I would definitely not get rid of. No.
Are they particularly
Really?
valuable, or?
Yeah, I suppose. They're American Fenders and things like that, Mustang, and they're worth a few grand. And I've got a Rickenbacker that's worth a few grand. Yeah, but it's not really about the money.
Yeah,
I've had them years, since I first started doing musician work in my 20s, most of them. I bought one recently, a white jazz. But yeah, again, I love that, so I probably wouldn't. Yeah, and it's like if you had to get out of your house because it was burning, which ones would you take? I'd just take.
right. Yeah,
I've
true.
got 2 particular ones that I take: a Rickenbacker and my Fender Jazz. The rest of them just gonna have to get burnt. And like with my toys, I've got a massive Star Wars collection. Again, I don't know what I'd take out of there. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you
Probably the
think
most expensive stuff.
your Star Wars collection, is that something you're likely to? Is that like a retirement fund, or
Suppose it is in a way. I don't
one
know.
day you're going to sell it all?
I don't know. I don't know really. I'd sell some of it for a really nice holiday. We want to
Yeah,
go. We want to go to Japan. Lula's at an age now when she started thinking, "Oh, I'd like to go." She sees a lot of. She loves Japan and Japanese stuff, and
nice.
she's always watching. What the kids are like on YouTube.
Yeah,
So she's like, I really want to go and visit Japan, which I'd love to be able to do. That'd be amazing. Go to Japan, maybe go to America. We've not had many holidays with me being in the band. That's another thing, because holiday time always gets sucked up.
yeah.
Usually with the band, But we're definitely going to go away. We're definitely having a week next week or 2
That'd be good.
weeks
That'd be
away,
good.
proper holiday. Yeah, but it's just planning it around stuff. Because this year we were going to go away, and then Simone got this job, so it was like, oh, you can't really book any time off,
Yeah,
But things
typical.
happen, don't they? I'm
Yeah,
not moaning. We'll get a nice holiday eventually.
you will. You
But,
get some nice holidays.
we're buying the house we're in, and we're having the loft converted so I can have a big room up there, so I can display
Brilliant.
some stuff. Maybe a guest bedroom up there too. So it's all going on.
It's all going on, and it all sounds positive.
No, it is.
Things
Yeah,
sound good.
yeah. For me, doing the band and eBay, proper match made in heaven. Works so well.
Brilliant.
Just turn off, turn on, turn off, turn on.
It's fascinating listening to how you manage it and all the stories behind it. I've
I
got a
could tell you
couple
some
of.
stories that made your toes curl, but I'll
Well,
leave them.
I'm not sure
Leave
that
them.
probably for this show, probably not.
No, no.
I've got a couple of questions that have come in from our little Discord group that we have. So a lot of questions that people give me have already been answered during our show, but I'll see if I can pick a couple out. That's been so. Beth Demise Family says, we've answered that. Do you have to completely pause sales while on tour? So we kind of said that when you long
Yeah,
tours, you do.
yeah, and I completely forget about eBay when it's a long tour. But if it's just the odd week away, yeah, I tend to try and leave it on. I don't want to lose
Yeah, if you
sales.
can. Yeah, you don't want to have to if you don't have to. Beth also says, have you got some favorite places to source when you are on tour?
What we tend to do is wherever we go. I mean, I have found places that I will go back to on tour. I tend to do a lot on the UK tour. I will do the charity shops, as many as I can, and
Yeah.
I just walk down the town. It's easy, isn't it? Find them.
Yeah.
Usually get all morning, so I do that. But let's say we're in somewhere new or we're in America. I Google Maps all the local
Thrift stores.
Goodwill, thrift stores, antique toy, vintage toys. I'll be putting all sorts in. And normally where there's record shops, normally there's a stretch and you
Yeah,
find
there's a few
antique
different
shops as
kind of
well.
places.
It tends to, or pawn shops. I love a good pawn shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get some amazing stuff in pawn shops. Maybe not to flip, but interesting stuff
Yeah.
to look at. Good,
Just still nice to look at.
great deals on guitars sometimes in them places.
Cool.
That's when you tend to buy a guitar when you're in America somewhere and you think, I'm going to get this home.
Oh right, yeah. Well, can't you just slip it in with all the Bunnymen sort of kit?
Yeah, I've been known to do that. Yeah.
Right, Shabba has got a couple of questions, and he's leaning more towards the Echo sort of questions. So, he said, "What's your favourite Echo song?"
My favourite Echo song. We're not really playing it at the minute, and it was one called "Back of Love."
Okay.
And it was a single, but it wasn't one of the most well-known singles. But yeah, Back of Love's probably my favourite. But I hate that. The favourite thing, because I have so many songs that I love. I feel it's hard to just pinpoint one. I know the fan favourite is Killing Moon, and when we play that, there's a lot of smiling faces. That's the big tune.
That song, wasn't that the soundtrack to a film?
Yeah, Donnie Darko.
That's it.
Donnie
Yeah,
Darko. Yeah,
I knew it was a soundtrack.
and they've had a few songs in films. They had one, a song called "Lips Like Sugar." That's in an American film. God knows which one now. I forgot, but I have seen it. It's not horror or anything. It's more of a,
Right.
like an American, nice film, I think. But yeah. What else? And then Stranger Things. Remember, the Netflix show?
Yeah.
So one of the songs called, which one was it now? God, and your mind goes blank.
We'll look it up afterwards.
Yeah, there's one at the start of one of the episodes of Stranger Things. It's that weird, spooky.
Oh, I'm going to look that up then. I'm going to have a listen to that.
Know that because
I'll go on Spotify and have a listen.
Honestly, it's just I've just got a blank.
Shabba also asked, what was your most memorable gig or moment? But we kind of have you got? Did we ask that earlier? What's your most memorable gig?
Yeah, we said that, didn't we?
Yeah.
I found it really hard to come up with just one, but I'm going to say that Radio City gig in New York. It's pretty special.
Nice venue.
Closely followed by the Royal Albert Hall. I mean, it's the Royal Albert Hall.
Shabba also asked, any tracks that you loved. You might have just covered this just now. Any tracks that you loved that never got released or lacked recognition?
Well, yeah. I suppose there's album tracks that don't get played, but it's because normally when you're promoting a new album, you want to play stuff off the new album, but you've also got to give the fans all them tracks that they love.
The favourites, the sing-alongs and the favourites.
There's quite a lot. There's quite a lot of songs, and it's you've got to make sure that you play Seven Seas, Killing Moon, Lips Like Sugar, The Cutter. Now that's a really big one for the fans, and they've got to squeeze it all in,
Yeah.
So, and then maybe there's songs that were more vocally demanding that Ian might think, I'm not going to do that one this time because there's only so many you can belt out. And then, because some of them are quite vocally demanding, and he recorded them when he was 20. You've got to think, he's now in his 60s. So he might, yeah. But we do tend to, I think this time round, there's going to be some changes in the sets, in the songs, which is great for us. Yeah. But I like the first two albums the most, and the fourth album, Ocean Rain. Not saying I don't like the later stuff, but they're my favourites,
Fair enough.
Yeah, I like the early
Let's
stuff.
see what else. See what else I've got here. Paul from Emsden, UK says, "Does your partner love or hate your reselling?"
Look, hi Paul, Stan. Yeah, I think she's okay because she does it. Luckily for
She does a
me,
bit.
Simone's. Yeah, no, she's all for it. I mean, when we lived in Manchester, sometimes I used to fill the house. That was not acceptable. You know, that was when
No,
things
tell me
started to
about
go
it.
wrong. When I started to fill the back bedroom, and
Oh,
I had
God.
issues. I had storage issues there, but I haven't got them here.
Well, it
So
goes on to Paul's second question, which
yeah,
is, how do you deal with your stock?
deal with stock right. So when we moved here, I had so much backlog, unbelievable. The idea was before we moved to Cowan Bay, I completely eliminate as much stock as I can, so make it
Yeah.
easier. I had an extra lorry full, and it was all reselling
Bloody hell.
all my stuff. So I actually had an office space in Landudno that I was renting, and
Right.
it was great. It was £114 a month
Wow,
for
that's
this
cheap.
decent. Yeah, and it was like Simone's cousin was renting 3 rooms at the top of this mill.
Right.
Now, it was on the 5th floor. That's not a good thing because there was no lift.
No.
So you got 5 floors, but the rent was cheap, so I put up with it and I put a lot of stuff up there. But it was just stuff in storage. Josh was he's called Josh. He was a DJ. They had issues with noise, so they left. But when he left, they had to renew my contract and put it up from 114 to I think it was 170 a month. So
Big
I was
jump.
using it for storage, and I just thought I can't cope with this.
No.
It's too much. It was just cutting too much into my net profit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what I did is Simone's mum said, right, you can use the double garage. She's got a lot of stuff in here on one side, but I've got a hell of a lot of my stuff in Simone's mum's double garage. So lucky to be able to use that. And then all my more expensive action figures stuff is in the loft in our
Right.
place.
Yeah.
So yeah, all like in contain. Everything's in hard containers with Sealy type. You know, the very useful boxes.
Yeah. You got to, haven't
I've
you?
got
Otherwise,
I've got loads
they
of
get
them.
ruined.
Yeah, everything's pretty much stored. I've learned over time with storing the way to store things, you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's split from Simone's mum's garage and our loft. I know exactly what's in both. All the action figure stuff's in the loft, and then everything else is in the garage. So everything's in boxes, all pretty not skew. I don't use any skews, but I know everything is.
Okay.
Never had a problem. Now and again I lose something, but
No. I
I
didn't
was
really
just
use a SKU system until relatively recently. I used to just categorize everything. That's how I did it.
yeah. I need to really start skewing at
Yeah.
some point. It's crazy because especially if I have to up with
Yeah.
500, 600 items, it's
You can
copable.
manage it.
Yeah, but if I did have to plump up to 1,500 items in the store, then it'd definitely
Then you
have to.
definitely got to have some organization, haven't you?
Yeah, no one wants to spend half a day looking for
Oh yeah, it's
something.
I hate it. Even now, even when you've got a SKU system, sometimes something goes awry, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, it's
when
weird,
you use
isn't
a
it?
SKU system, if something goes missing, it's not in a category anymore, which means it can be in any box,
Any box, and
any
normally you've
box
probably
anywhere.
pulled it out and just popped it in the next box next to it, and it's just got covered over.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it could be the case, especially with clothing. You have to then flick through every single
yeah, you
piece.
do. Yeah,
Needle in
nightmare.
a haystack, then, isn't it?
No,
Nightmare. Yeah, so you'd
right.
have to be extra careful, mate, when you're doing that.
Yeah.
Mate, if you don't learn anything off me, learn that. I'm only kidding. I told you when I saw you, you're the pro here. I'm no
Oh, don't be
pro.
silly. Don't be
I
silly.
just stumbled my way through it, but I thought it was quite
Most
a
of us
funny
do.
story.
Most of us do.
Doing, yeah, man.
I've got two questions for you, Stevo, before we finish. These are questions that I ask everybody on this series. I pick out a couple of new questions for each series, so we've got something different. So I've got two questions for you. The first one is, if you could ban one item from a car boot sale forever, what would it be?
See, when you say ban one item, so if I said fake trainers, you'd
Well,
say
that's okay.
no. Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Obviously,
Just
yeah, they're so annoying because there's
fake
so many of
trainers.
them.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
And I don't know that much about trainers, so every pair looks like fake to me then. Do you know?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fake
I find
trainers
it
are a real
strange.
problem. They
Yeah.
they're so good fakes nowadays. It's very hard. When you're in the buzz of a boot sale and you've got
Mm,
people all around you looking at stuff, and you feel like if I put it down, someone else is going to have it. You're kind of under pressure to pick things up. So that's when you make mistakes,
yeah.
isn't it?
And scratch records, that's another thing I hate. And that's another thing when you're under pressure, you're looking through and you can feel that shadow behind you.
Yeah,
Someone
somebody's
they're looking,
looking.
they're looking at what you're actually flicking. You're doing the
Yeah.
job for them, flicking through the
Oh,
records,
I've done that before though, Steve. I've stood there. I don't really buy records, but if someone's there looking and I see the odd one like indie records or something, then I'll have a little look and see what they're looking at and see if they pick them up or not. So sorry about that. That's probably me.
I just grab them and I hope for the best.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll
If
go
it's
to the
cheap
side and
enough.
start looking at some. But I always get scratch records. I've got so many. I need to take to the tip shop. I mean, what do you do with a scratch record? You can't sell it. I don't like selling anything scratched on eBay. I
Yeah.
wouldn't like to say this record is perfect, but on side 2 there is a scratch between. I'm not into that. It's got to be
It's either
like
perfect or nothing.
perfect. Yeah. There's
Fair enough.
an album that just came out last year. Have you heard of the film Terrifier?
Yeah, the clown.
Yeah, so he's a clown. The films are really hardcore. I
Yeah.
mean, you've
Hardcore
not for the
horror, isn't
light,
it?
not for the light stomach.
Yeah.
I've watched them all, but the soundtracks. I collect horror soundtracks as well, vinyl. So I've got all them. And when the last one was released, Terrifier 3, only 800 were released, but in America. So I bought 6. So
That's
that's kind of flipping, but that's scalping, isn't it? People don't like
yeah.
scalping. But if it wasn't
Well,
for me, no one in the UK would be able to have one of those
exactly.
Terrifiers.
That's it. You're providing as a public service for the people of the UK.
That's what I think. Yeah, so I've got my third one now. I'm not selling them for massive. They cost me $50, and I'm selling them for 90 quid.
Right.
So it's not like a huge
Doubling
profit
up.
being. Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
What's $40? 45. $50 is 45 quid, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. 40, 45 quid. And I know that you did. You sent me a message from America once, and you showed me a picture of a Killer Clowns vinyl that you bought.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's grown. My collection of horror vinyl is growing lovely. I've got quite
That's
a big box
great.
full, and it's just now's the time. I love Halloween. We love Halloween, us.
Yeah.
So
Belle
yeah,
does as well. Actually, Belle loves it.
it's a good month. We always enjoy it. If it was up to me, we'd have the animatronics in the house. All that.
All
But
that stuff.
yeah, I love it. But we just could, yeah, we'll be out. We'll be trick or treating. I think there's some films, but there's someone doing like a scary thing with a big barn close to here.
Oh yeah,
And
there is some horror stuff going on. We're going to a couple of like scare things,
yeah,
room things.
there's Lost. Do you like the film Lost Boys?
I don't mind it. I wouldn't say it was up there
Yeah,
on my favourite list, but
I quite like it. I think the Bunnymen are in that one. People Are Strange. Yeah, that's the other one I was trying to think of.
oh, okay.
People Are Strange, the song
Yep.
by the Doors. Yeah, the Bunnymen
Cool.
are in that as well. So that's on in a barn somewhere. We might go and watching that.
Oh, nice. That'd be
I don't know if
cool.
it's a bit like a drive-in, like an
Yeah.
American thing. You
Yeah.
just sort
Oh,
of
that's
sit there.
neat.
You take your own hot chocolate or whatever. And
Excellent.
yeah, so
Another
looking forward
question
to
for
that.
you, Stevo.
Yes.
AI. Do you think AI will make reselling easier or harder as we go into the future? And do you even use any kind of AI?
I don't, and I don't get on with it. I don't like it at all. I mean, for you doing the listing monster, that is amazing. I don't need to list at the scale you're listing, so I don't think I'd have it unless I was really pumping the listings.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
What
AI for
about ChatGPT? Are
descriptions.
you using that for anything?
No, but I think I will try that. That looks really good.
Well,
And
I
did you
think
think it's about
business
£20 a
sellers.
month?
Are you a business seller?
I am, yeah.
If you're a business seller on eBay, I think they announced at the eBay Open. I wasn't there, but I watched it on the app. I think they announced there that business sellers are going to get free access to ChatGPT for a year.
Oh wow, that'd be amazing. I mean, that
That's
is a great
coming.
tool, isn't it?
That's coming in the next few weeks. You'll get access to that. So that'll be like at least 20 quid a month saved.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I
So you'll be able
definitely
to
would
try that
use
out.
that. I don't use, when people do use it for the descriptions of items.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at something like to buy for me, because I do buy quite a lot on eBay. If it starts and I know, I can tell straight away it's that AI spiel.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
just,
a
and
bit too
half the
much, isn't it,
times it's not
sometimes?
even going, it's not telling you anything about the
Yeah.
item. Well, I'm old school. I write my description, and there's any flaws, I write them, but I write the description. It's brief, to be honest, few sentences, and let the pictures do the talk out. I don't like all that. Look at this toy from the golden age from 1970. When they stay really sort of go
Yeah,
on, don't
it is OTT. eBay's own AI descriptions are really over the
yeah.
top.
Yeah, so I'm pretty basic on that.
Okay.
Whether there'll be any, did you say will there be a hindrance in the future to
Yeah.
resellers?
What do you think
How would
into the
how
future?
would it be? How would you? I mean, why would there be a hindrance? Because you obviously at the minute it's working for a lot of people.
At the
Isn't it?
moment, I think AI is good for us because if you can give AI a task to help you do something better or
Yeah.
faster. But in the future, my opinion is like, I don't know where, like in a few years, AI might make it harder for us because it could be that reselling becomes more accessible for a hell of a lot more people than it did before. Like, my example is if people can already buy glasses that put screens on and is scanning things that you're looking at. Like in a couple of years, will people be able to just look, oh, I've got my glasses on. This is an iPhone. It's
Oh, I
worth
see.
£200.
Yeah.
Will it make it more difficult for us? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird how many people don't know about Google Lens, and I think
Mm.
unless you're actually in the game, you don't. It's not something you
But
think about.
imagine if you had a pair of glasses on and
Hmm.
you put it into a certain mode, and everything that you look at, or you press a button when you're looking at something, and it just flashes it up on the screen in front of you how much it's
What it's
worth.
worth, and yeah, that'd be. I
You don't
mean,
even have to get your phone out. It's there.
Yeah, but who's going to be paying all that money for
I don't
those
know.
fancy
I don't know.
glasses?
I don't know.
Resellers, us.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it might get easier. It might get easier for
Who
people,
knows?
but I don't think people. I don't know. I think it'll always be. It has grown, hasn't it? Since
Yeah,
I started, the reselling community has
it's
massively
grown a
grown.
lot.
And it is the competition. I feel it at the car boots.
Mm.
That's one thing I'd ban at the car boots when they have the horn and everyone runs. That would stress me out more than anything
Oh,
because I'm already thinking, am I going to get enough? When you get up early and you want to make sure you get enough stuff
the good
to make it
thing,
worth it,
the
don't you?
thing I like about that with the horn and making people wait is at least you're all there at the same time and you've been made to wait rather than not knowing what time you have to get there.
Mm, yeah, I suppose. I think they should make everyone do silly walks. You're not allowed to run, but you can do fast
Yeah,
silly
you can
walks.
do that. You know that sort of that walking thing where you're on the verge of running, but you're doing this funny walk.
That fast walking, like what was it, Chariots of Fire?
Yeah.
Was that Chariots of Fire when they did the fast walky thing? No, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah,
Um,
the Minister of Silly Walks. That's
yeah.
Monty Python. Yeah, them kind of
Well,
walks.
Steve, we've come to the end. We've come to the end.
No, well,
No, more,
that
more,
went
more.
that went quick.
Encore,
Wasn't that?
encore.
There's probably a lot of
Um,
things we didn't say, but I hope I said enough to make
no,
people.
Steve,
Oh,
it's been absolutely fascinating listening to you, how you manage being part of a big band, being a rock star like you are, even though you don't admit to it. I think you are. And it's fascinating listening to these stories. And I appreciate that you've probably got loads more stories that you can tell us about.
yeah, I could
But
go on
it's
forever.
It's been great, and I thank you so much for taking the time to come on. Really appreciate it.
I'm glad you asked me to come on.
When's the next Echo gig tour?
Well, there is a big tour next year, but only the UK has been actually released to the public at the minute. But I think I told you that it's going to go on and where I was going. But yeah, the UK March. It starts early March. I think it's something like the 3rd of March, and it might be in somewhere like Leicester. I'm not 100%. I've not checked the dates properly yet, but it's March. So I've got up until Christmas, then January, February will be quite dead months for me. But we'll start rehearsing as well.
Yeah.
So we rehearse for a good few weeks when we're doing a new tour. So I'll be busy. But yeah, all next year now. I'm enjoying being at home. It's great watching Strictly Come Dancing, hot chocolate, and all that.
Oh, how the rock star lifestyle's changed.
Oh yeah, the slippers will be out in a minute.
Well, thank you again, Stevo, and a big thank you to Listing Monster for sponsoring the series. Really do appreciate it. Check them out. There's a link in the description below. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Music, Alexa, Amazon, and all that business, please hit the download button. If you're on YouTube watching this back, please hit the subscribe button, and we've got more podcasts coming in the future. Last thing I'll say, Stevo, is we could talk all day about this, but in true Echo style, nothing ever lasts forever.
Certainly doesn't.
See you later.
And cheesy, but yes, we'll let you have
cheesy,
that.
wasn't it? It was cheesy.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Cheesy Chris.
That's it for today's episode of the Everything Reselling Podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, to follow, or to subscribe wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast. And we'll see you on the next episode.